Hi guys, welcome back to Sports Angle. We have our elite panelists here, or as we like to call them, Sports Mafia. We are halfway done through the IPL. We'll be sharing our thoughts as to what's gone right for teams, what's gone wrong for teams, and now how the race to the playoffs heats up. कैसे अभी प्लेऑफ्स की रेस होने वाली है, कौन प्लेऑफ्स में आने वाला है, कैसी टीम्स की रिसर्जेंस दिख रही है हमें, और काफ़ी सारे चीज़ें। आरसीबी फैंस खुश हैं, सीएसके फैंस नाराज है, एमआई फैंस एज यूजुअल क्वेश्चन मार्क में हैं। तो चलिए बात करते हैं। पहली बात तो हम टेबल के लिए देखेंगे कौन कौन है अप टॉप। पर उसके पहले एक चीज़ बात करेंगे, आईपीएल अब तक काफ़ी एंटरटेनिंग रहा है इन द लास्ट 2 वीक्स, where we are seeing lowest totals getting chased, last ball finishes, super overs, and whatnot. Usual IPL stuff, but again, whenever it comes, it always takes you by storm, and it always is very fascinating and बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है. Of course, 13-year-old kids doing their wonders, 17-year-old kids doing their wonders at the world's biggest stage is very, very good. Now, starting with the table toppers, Gujarat Titans, as we had already discussed in our preview, हमने ये बोला था ये T20 solutions team है. कोई भी सिचुएशन हो, कैसा भी पिच हो, इनके पास वैसे प्लेयर्स हैं. टर्निंग ट्रैक्स के लिए दे हैव राशिद खान, दे हैव वॉशिंगटन सुंदर फॉर गुड बैटिंग कंडीशंस, देयर टॉप ऑर्डर्स लिटरली द बेस्ट in the tournament right now. If any top order of any team which is delivering, it is this one. And that is really good to see. एट द सेम टाइम बिग अप्स टू आशीष नेहरा, उन्होंने प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा मोहम्मद सिराज की जो एक रेनेसांस लेके आए हैं, उनका एक बैक ऑफ द लेंथ बॉलिंग डाल डाल के प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा इज पर्पल कैप होल्डर, सिराज की इकोनॉमी काफी अच्छी कंट्रोल में आई है. सो या दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक. गुजरात टाइटंस मुझे लगता है प्लेऑफ के लिए 100% है. 12 पॉइंट है आउट ऑफ द 8 गेम्स दे प्लेड, दे वन 6, लॉस्ट ओनली 2.
Mhm.
व्हाट डू यू गाइस थिंक?
I mean, with GT, I think they've got a very strong team. If I compare them in terms of uh, pop culture, I think they're a proper Moneyball team. Because you sort of look at that team and you wonder how is it even possible that they're on top?
या
Because you think of their batting is just their top three. You
करेक्ट.
look at their bowling, you just think, oh, there's just pacers. But somewhere, somehow, this team just clicks. And
यस.
this happened. I don't know how this management has pulled off this within like 4 years of actually being around, making playoffs consistently, dominating group stage all 4 years almost.
Hmm.
And they've cracked that code really well. And I've got to give credit where it's due. And I think it's really just Nehra who pulls it off for them.
या
It
he's done a
it's
fantastic
also,
job. जो वो
yeah,
फुटबॉल मैनेजर स्टाइल कोचिंग करता है बाउंड्री लाइन से, एंड जाके वो बोलते हैं कि हाँ भाई ऐसा करो, वैसा करो. बॉलर्स को अच्छी तरीके से गाइड करते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स ही इज नॉट टोल्ड द बॉलर्स टू डू सम आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स स्टफ. बैक ऑफ द लेंथ डालो,
correct.
अच्छी लेंथ बॉल्स डालो, एंड उसके ऊपर ये मिल रहा है. सो आई थिंक
Yeah.
रोल्स आर वेरी वेल डिफाइंड इन दैट जीटी लाइनअप. सब प्लेयर्स को मालूम है वो एग्जैक्टली क्या करना चाहते हैं और उनसे क्या एक्सपेक्टेड है. साई सुदर्शन, जॉस बटलर, ये सब सारे
Yeah.
प्लेयर्स अच्छी तरीके से ये. ऑल्दो मुझे अभी भी लगता है कि साई सुदर्शन ऐसा पावर प्लेयर नहीं है.
I mean, I'll
ही
tell you
कैन.
You are
one
a
thing
hater.
about their batting, which is more surprising to me, right?
या
They get to a 200 score with, I think, about 80 or 90 balls being played at 150 strike rate. I
या
think we saw that yesterday, got close to 200. Shubman was at 150 almost. Sai Sudarshan was 150, and they still can get to that number.
या
Their bowling economically has been wonderful.
या
They don't need to be a wicket-taking team because they can get their economy under control.
या
It's it's a scary team in group stages, but I
It is a scary team in group stages, but we'll have to see how well they do in playoffs. They are very young, so I don't know whether they'll have that. वो उनके ऊपर वो टेम्परामेंट रहेगा कि नहीं, कि वो प्रेशर को कंटेन कर पाया नहीं.
yeah.
Or moving on to the second team, which I feel is probably the most powerful team in the league, and that is Delhi Capitals. Abhi, we have just come off a match where they have literally pummeled LSG at home. इनके पास सब है, पावर हिटर्स से लेके क्लासी स्ट्रोक वाले बैट्समैन लाइक केएल राहुल, करुण नायर. पावर हिटर्स में सॉरी अभी तक जेएफएम ने फायर नहीं किया है.
Yeah.
Ashutosh has won matches for them. They have a decent bowling lineup, where we saw what Mitchell Stark did in that super over. Absolute classy stuff. And at the same time, what I feel is with this team, right? Like the biggest plus of this team is that they have a very young core as well in Abhishek Poral, Ashutosh Sharma, and bhai best spin hai inke paas. Best spin attack in Akshar Patel. एंड इन कुलदीप यादव, 8 ओवर ऑफ
Vipraj as well, to be honest.
वर्ल्ड क्लास पिच.
Vipraj has been a steal for them.
यस, विपराज हैज बीन अ स्टील. जहां पे भी गया है उसे बड़े बड़े विकेट्स लिया है. विराट कोहली का विकेट लिया है, रोहित शर्मा का विकेट लिया है. जहां पे भी गया है उसने, बिग मैच प्लेयर जो होता है मुझे लगता है वो विपराज है. मुझे लगता है एक ऐसा एक इंस्टेंट आएगा इन समवेयर इन दी आईपीएल जहां पे वो 50 रन चाहिए होंगे. एक्चुअली जो पहला मैच में किया था उसने 50 रन चाहिए थे 20 बॉल में, उसने जिता दिया था. सो आई फील लाइक या दिल्ली कैपिटल्स, इनको सिर्फ एक ही चीज ये करना है, इज इनका ओपनिंग थोड़ा इंप्रूव करना पड़ेगा एंड इनकी पावर प्ले बैटिंग. बट अगर वो देखने जाए तो दैट कैन बी अगेन सॉल्व वेदर इफ either JFM comes into form or if Karun Nair bats 20 overs.
Yeah, I think that's what it relies mostly on because you see how far Karuna took their team against Mumbai, right? Especially
Yeah.
playing a quick innings with that was stable. If he can provide that to them through and through, with even Rishabh Porel not doing as much, KL Rahul steps in, does the exact same thing, and they could alternate between who wants to play the faster innings between the two of them because they're pretty steady batsmen like that.
Correct. I
Uh,
agree.
and even their fixtures up and coming. That's the good thing for the top two teams that they have sort of easy points coming up against CSK, against Sunrisers that they can pick up. Some even against Rajasthan. So for them, for these two, Gujarat and Delhi especially, I feel like a playoff spot is there for sure. Right now,
Hmm.
being at like what 12 points each, it's
Yeah.
a sure shot ticket to the playoffs for them.
Correct.
Yeah. One thing
Now,
with Delhi I'll add is I think they're the only team that's not using that full foreign players quota. I
yeah,
think they've played more matches just utilizing three foreign players.
correct.
And I think that goes with something that's tried and tested really well in the IPL.
Yeah,
If you have a strong Indian core, you're going to dominate games.
yeah,
And that
that's
that
what they're
team's a pure
showing.
reflection of that
Yeah,
right now.
that's what they're showing. And it's good. It's actually good to see what they're doing with their Indian core also.
Yeah.
Moving on to everybody's favorite team, सबकी वही थी. Royal Challengers Bangalore sitting at third with 10 points, a good healthy net run rate. यार इनका एक ही चीज मैं बोल सकता हूँ, इनकी कोई वीकनेस है नहीं जो मुझे ऐसे लग रही है. इनकी एक ही वीकनेस है कि ये घर पे जीत नहीं पा रहे. इनकी तीनों लॉसेस जो आए हैं वो घर
Don't
पे,
worry.
होम वाले.
Don't worry.
यस, आप जा
Don't
सकते
worry.
हैं बिल्कुल.
I'm going for the game on Thursday. I've got a good record in Swami when I go as a spectator. Uh, I don't know when this gets released, but I go for the game on the Thursday. So the
Yep.
game versus RR, I'll make a appearance, and I would be very proud to sort of see RSP win at the Chinnaswamy on
I
Thursday.
think those three games that you all lost, all of them have been where you all had to bat first.
Exactly.
And the same with Mumbai, the ones that we have won at home are the ones where we have batted second.
Second.
Yeah.
I feel like luck has played a big
Yeah, big
factor
factor
in
for
that
RCB.
consideration.
Yeah.
Like against RCB especially, but I still feel that like maybe one of those three games that they should have been able to do something, especially given that they are familiar with the conditions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, even with that being said, it's still quite likely that you guys will see the run of form to the playoffs. It's just
Yeah.
that you'll have this alternate thing that you'll win one, you'll lose one. You know,
Yeah. I
uh,
think yeah, they
I
just need
know.
to fix their home form, and I think it's pretty much
Yeah.
it's all there for
yeah,
us.
because there's a dominant side away from home, which is
Yeah.
good for the playoffs, I feel,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
that
that too, in both
in
the
that
playoff
situation,
venues,
it's
they have
amazing.
won. Yeah, in both the playoff
Yeah.
venues, जहाँ पे होने वाला है, they have won and they have won very convincingly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if I compare the last two seasons when it comes to RCB, we're able to defend scores at the Chinnaswamy. To be very honest, like I think we won a lot of games defending. I mean, the most notable one being like the May 18th match last year, right? Where CSK just lost everything they had. But then that's also come as a
के
curse
बाद they
to
have
us.
lost everything they had.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's
Yeah.
a curse to us. Ever since we've beaten them, we've not won at home. From WPL to IPL, we've lost 7 games.
Yes, yes.
I'm hoping this Thala for a reason finally ends on Thursday. I
Yeah,
can't do this
hopefully,
seven.
hopefully,
Yeah. And I'm
hopefully.
hoping we win the toss. That's more important. Just win the toss once.
Honestly, that's the thing. Like, with games of in these in at Chinnaswamy and Wankhede, I'm just like
Yeah,
the team that wins the toss is the team that's taking it home
यार बट
mostly.
मुझे ऐसा भी लगता है कि
correct.
रोमारो शेफर्ड
I
को इसलिए
think,
लेके आए हैं ताकि अगर पहला बैटिंग भी आए और अर्ली विकेट्स गिरे तो आपको एक अच्छा सॉलिड 50 रन पार्टनरशिप मिल जाता है towards the end, which can push your score at least to 180 to 190, because ऐसा हुआ है कि आरसीबी के
Correct.
scores बने हैं 180 190, and at the same time it's gone to like a stage where the bowlers have got you back into the game, but somehow in the middle it gets lost because the spinners are not able
Yeah.
to get a grip. But ठीक है, I feel like ये part and parcel है of the tournament, and I feel like this is something RCB will fix. I think going forward we'll
Hmm.
see a slightly more formidable batting lineup for RCB, and the middle order will step up. And yeah,
Yeah.
the big player which you all have literally gotten from Mumbai Indians out here is Tim David. What a
Tim David,
Oh,
I think you've mistaken yourself. He's Lord David now.
yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's the
said it
regen,
with a
the
straight
proper
face, huh?
regen of Fallout,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be very honest.
That honestly is the most trickiest
Said
place
it
to
with a
score
straight
runs
face.
for a T20
Yeah.
batter. He's doing it very well. So
Yeah.
big ups to Tim
One
David.
more thing I want to add. This is not related to RCB or anything, but I think this is adding to what Atharva had said. I think this IPL, the toss has played a huge role this year. I don't know what it is, but I think the minute you win that toss, you already know who's going to win the game.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I think
तो वैसा
when it's like if you're chasing, you're going to win the game almost. It's like it's as good as guaranteed,
that's
except
true.
for the day game. But the night games, I don't know what the statistic is, but if you chase, you're winning. And I think that's a big surprise to me because I think we've always had those thrillers a lot more the past few years, and we've been having a
And
couple of
I
thrillers
feel
more
like वो
recently.
ball पे saliva लगाना and all that is helping bowlers. So
Yeah,
defending
Yeah,
I think they showed some stat today, right? That the average swing has gone up for like, the middle overs this
yeah.
season. Although it's gone up by like 0.1 or
but
0.01
makes a
degrees,
huge
but it's
difference.
still, yeah, it
Massive.
Still
makes a huge
something.
difference when you're a batsman.
Yeah.
And the ball
क्योंकि
has been
उसी ball पे
reversing a
तो edge
lot more this
लगेगी.
year.
उस ball पे तो edge लगेगी.
Correct. And
So
it's also been reversing a lot more this year, which is a good sign
yeah,
for the
yeah,
bowlers at least.
exactly. Moving on to Punjab Kings, I feel from the ability they've had and the kind of lineup they had and the kind of auction they had, not lived up to the potential, but it's also not bad because they've still won 5 games. So, but the best part about what this team has done is defended the lowest total in the IPL. सबसे
Yeah.
टोटल डिफेंड किया है. द ओनली वन स्ट्रैटेजी जो मेरे को इनकी काफी स्टूपिड लगती है वो है यार ये मल्टीपल होम ग्राउंड्स में खेलना विद चंडीगढ़ एंड धर्मशाला एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. वो इनकी कंसिस्टेंसी और इनका मोमेंटम
Mm.
पूरा रूइन कर देता है. बट ओवरऑल अगर देखें तो टीम कॉम्बिनेशन और जैसे कैप्टेंसी देखने जाए तो कैप्टेंसी वाइज आई थिंक दिस इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट टीम्स. श्रेयस अय्यर, बिग अप्स टू हिम. क्या कैप्टेंसी की है उसने.
Mm.
मतलब वो जो गेम था 112 डिफेंड करना इज इम्पॉसिबल. और ऐसा नहीं कि उसने
Mm.
1-2 रन से जीता है, 15-17 रन से जीता है. 15-17 रन इन T20 इज अ गुड मार्जिन, इज अ वेरी गुड मार्जिन.
Mm.
It's I would say it's a huge margin, but it's a good margin to win by. So big ups to
I
him
mean,
that thing. But again, I feel like इनकी inconsistency थोड़ी इनको भारी पड़ सकती है in their lower order, where I feel like people like Shashank, Margot Jansen have to step up a bit more than what they're doing, and their spin also is
mm.
now started coming to the party.
Mm.
Yuzvendra
Yeah,
Chahal
with
is now showing
Yuzvendra
his
Chahal.
yeah, Yuzvendra showing is now showing his Chad side, and now he is coming out with thumping his chest and getting those wickets in the middle overs, which he is known for.
Correct.
उसकी वो
I
speciality.
I look at this team. I think that Indian core is brilliant. Like I think you've got one of the more dominant opening partnerships you can see in Priyansh Arya and Prabh Simran. Very young, very dynamic, very powerful.
Great for the
But
power play.
yeah, I think that and they perform mostly in the power play, right? Post power plays when they
Yeah,
sort of fall. That's how it happens. But that's the thing. If you the minute you get 60, 70 runs in the power play, you sort of set that stone for that momentum to sort of continue. So it's fine. But I think the problem with Punjab Kings is if I look at all other teams, right? Maybe except for CSK for that matter, I think they've got the not so impressive bunch of overseas players.
yeah,
I
I
think
feel
that team,
Maxwell. Yeah,
yeah, I think in that team, it's really just their overseas players underperforming, which is the issue.
yeah,
They're not able to get that combination right. But if you look at that Indian player set that they've gotten spot on. I think that's the only aspect that they need to work on.
yeah,
But as a team, they are getting there because of that Indian core at the
yeah,
end of the day.
yeah, yeah.
But those foreign players will have to step up for those close
Correct,
games for sure.
correct, correct. I agree. Moving on to LSG, a team which is, it's in the mix of things. I feel they've won 5, they've lost 4, sit on fifth in the table. यार मुझे
Hmm.
लगता है सी द ओनली वन बिग problem for them is Rishabh Pant not performing. और Rishabh Pant आपका
Hmm.
मेन प्लेयर है, he has to perform because at the end of the day अगर ऋषभ पंत परफॉर्म कर रहा है तो मतलब मैच विनिंग परफॉर्मेंसेस डालेगा, और at the end of the day जब वो मैच विनिंग परफॉर्मेंसेस डालेगा तो एक तरीके का क्या बोलते हैं, there is a good confidence amongst the players also.
Hmm.
I feel the death bowling has been good with the likes of Avesh Khan and Shardul Thakur who have stepped up and really taken wickets when it's needed. और उनकी स्पिन बॉलिंग भी अच्छी है with Digvish Rathi and stuff like that. Of course, the kind of antiques he brings to the game is amazing. But I think एक चीज अंडरवेलमिंग है लखनऊ सुपर जायंट्स के लिए, वो है पंत का फॉर्म. अगर पंत का
Hmm.
फॉर्म आ गया तो आई थिंक दे आर अ गुड साइड, बिकॉज आज भी ऐसा मुझे लगा कि 20-30 रन दे वर शॉर्ट, एंड दैट इज वेयर पंत कम्स इन, राइट? लाइक ही हैज टू कम इन दोस
Hmm.
मिडल ओवर्स एंड ही हैज टू स्टार्ट स्मैकिंग like left, right, and center. It's not like fans are expecting him to do something जो वो नहीं कर सकता है. पंत का गेम ही
Hmm.
है to bat at a
Hmm.
nice 170-200 का strike rate where he deals in fours and sixes. Uh,
Correct.
but yeah, I feel like ये टीम को अफ्लोट रख रही है उनकी बॉलिंग एंड देयर गुड ओपनिंग कॉम्बिनेशन विद मार्करम एंड मिचेल मार्श.
Hmm.
अच्छे स्टार्ट्स दे रहे हैं वो लोग पावर प्ले में, जो एकदम पावरफुल इम्पैक्ट छोड़.
Yeah.
दैट इज वेरी वेरी गुड फॉर देम. I feel like in terms of the middle overs is where they are struggling, where they completely like they are scoring these 60-70 runs in the 6 overs, but उसके बाद completely dip हो जाते हैं in the middle overs,
Hmm.
where you don't see someone like taking the charge. Apart from like say, of course, Puran is their main player. He's their best player. He's been doing amazingly well. But वो
Yeah.
काफी अभी लास्ट दो तीन तीन गेम्स हम देख रहे हैं कि अगर पूरन चीपली जाता है तो who steps up, you know?
No,
I feel
yeah.
like that is where even Rishabh Pant has to come in, and he has to take the game by the scruff of its neck, and it's not like something which Rishabh Pant is alien to. वो कर सकता है.
Correct.
But yeah, I think their best player so far and the player of the tournament so far has been Nicholas Puran. The way he's batted, powerful,
Yeah.
powerful player. Will be very good to see in like the latter half of the IPL also, as to how he steps up in like crucial games and stuff. So let's
I
see.
mean, I look at this team, first and foremost, I don't like this team, so I couldn't care less. But one thing I'll give them credit for is that opening partners that they've got. At the end of the day, that was the shock on the auction, right? They didn't go for any openers, but they actually made good openers out of them.
Yeah,
Rishabh Pant really needs to stop hiding behind that dressing room now.
yeah,
I've seen that guy open. I've seen that guy go number three, four, five, six. God knows what position he comes out on for this team. He literally goes as MSD. He chooses when he wants to come out.
yeah, and
Today
that's
he
not
came
fair
after
because
Ayush Badoni, which was a joke.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a shocker.
That was a big shocker. I feel one more thing that's gone wrong for them is Miller not really playing to his potential.
hmm.
But at the same time, the guy doesn't have a set position. So
Yeah,
what
so
is
when
he
is he gonna
supposed
play and
to
how
do?
is he gonna play? That's the big
Exactly.
question also. But I also feel like, say, with LSG, I feel it's a matter of time if Rishabh Pant comes back in form and they have like a couple of knocks here and there from Miller, they should be able to make it. But
Yeah.
again, right? Like it's not down to just a couple of players here and there, like a Nicholas Puran or like a Aiden Markram, or for that matter, a Mitchell Marsh also, who's been giving them those solid starts. They have to step up really, really well in those middle overs where Miller, Rishabh Pant,
Mm.
if Nicholas Puran goes out early and they have like a quick fire, say like they're at a 25 for 3 in 4 overs, and someone has to take that 25 to 3 to say a 220 for 6, who plays that middle innings knock to actually take them to that? उनके पास है, टैलेंट तो है, चार प्लेयर्स हैं जो मिडिल
Yeah.
ऑर्डर में उनको ये कर सकते हैं: अब्दुल समद, आयुष बडोनी, ऋषभ पंत, डेविड मिलर. चारों में एबिलिटी है 150 एंड 170 100 200 की स्ट्राइक रेट पे बैटिंग करने के लिए. बट
Mm.
अभी देखते हैं क्या होता है. मूविंग ऑन, वी हैव आर्मसी टीम
Uh,
मुंबई इंडियंस. मिक्स्ड सीजन. 8 गेम खेले हैं, 4 गेम जीते हैं, 4 गेम हारे हैं. 4 गेम जो जीते हैं उसमें से 3 गेम होम पे जीते, तो वो कोई सरप्राइज नहीं है. आई मीन मुंबई इंडियंस इज द मोस्ट पावरफुल एट वानखेड़े स्टेडियम. जो वो बीच में देख रहे हैं अथुरा के बैट के पीछे इज वेयर दिस आरसीबी
Go
फैंस
to hell, Mike.
आरसीबी फैंस भी उधर 10 साल के बाद जीते हैं. तो लिटरली, बट नहीं, मुंबई इंडियंस, आई डोंट नो, सडनली ऐसा लग रहा है कि हाँ उठ रही है ये टीम, एंड इट्स वेकिंग अप फ्रॉम इट्स स्लम्बर, फाइनली रियलाइजिंग फ्रॉम honestly one of the best, apart from the 196 being chased in 14 overs. After that, अगर मेरे को बोलना है कि कोई अच्छा चेज हुआ है dominant in a big game, तो वो हुआ है MI versus CSK where they chased down 177 in like 16 overs तभी पूरा मॉकरी बना दिया वो चेस का. एंड it was not about like the balls which were spared, it was just like the sheer class of Surya and Rohit just took the game away from CSK. No point were CSK in the game. धोनी को कुछ मालूम नहीं था वो क्या कर सकता है काउंटर करने के लिए. ही ट्राइड एवरीथिंग, स्पिन लेके आया, पतिराना को लेके आया, ट्राइड टू
Nothing
स्लो
was working
डाउन.
that game.
हाँ,
Nothing was working
क्या
bowling wise for
कुछ भी
them
नहीं चला
that
उनके
game.
लिए. मुंबई इंडियंस का भी प्रॉब्लम एक ही है, इज टुवर्ड्स द एंड उनके पास एक पावर हिटर नहीं है जो अगर उनको 25 रन चाहिए 2 ओवर में तो उनके लिए कौन करेगा. क्वेश्चन है कि एबिलिटी वाइज नमन धीर को आप वो रोल के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो. हार्दिक पांड्या कर सकता है, बेविन जेकब्स आपके पास बैठा हुआ है. एंड आई डोंट थिंक सो राइट नाउ दे आर गोइंग टू चेंज मच ऑफ द टीम कॉम्बिनेशन, बिकॉज जो चल रहा है उसको तोड़े क्यों. तो
Most of
मुंबई
it is
इंडियंस.
going to, yeah, like we're out here getting our easy points, even though it started off against DC. I feel that was DC's lower order crumbling, what we
या
saw
एंड वी
happen in those three
कैपिटलाइजिंग ऑल्सो.
consecutive runouts.
या
Yeah, 100%. We saw them under pressure and
एंड
we capitalized
we
that
capitalized as soon
situation.
as, yeah, we saw like we saw opening and we absolutely capitalized on it. um
Yep. But our next few run of games, especially the last three, right? It's against Gujarat, Punjab, and DC. That's not the run of fixtures I'd want to
but
have
अगर आपको
in those.
चैंपियनशिप जीतनी है तो
But
इनको हराना
that
पड़ेगा.
exactly, exactly. If you want to get the championship, that is what is going to keep
Yeah,
you. But that's the good thing about it is when you're leading up to those games, we're playing Sunrisers next,
yeah,
Lucknow, and then I think Rajasthan. So two of these should be, the easier opponent of the two, of the three. So it should be good. Mumbai's bowling hasn't been as impressive as I thought. Bumrah, since he came back, has been giving those the good economy overs with like 27, 29 runs
yeah.
in 4 overs. But Bolt and Deepak Chahar, apart from the first 2, 3 games, they haven't been as intimidating
Phenomenal.
along with Bumrah in that
Yeah. So I have,
lineup.
so like God forbid
And
if we lose a toss at home और हमको डिफेंड करना रहा तो ये नहीं है. बट हाँ, एक चीज जो इंप्रूव हुई है जिसकी वजह से मोमेंटम भी शिफ्ट हुआ है मुंबई इंडियंस की तरफ, जो लोग बात नहीं कर रहे हैं इतना बट कमेंटेटर्स भी हाईलाइट करते हैं, इज आर फील्डिंग. बहुत
yeah,
प्रोएक्टिव हुई है फील्डिंग, काफी अजाइल हो गई है फील्डिंग. एंड काफी तरीके से अगर रन भी लेने हैं इन द फर्स्ट 6 ओवर्स वो काफी डिफिकल्ट हो गया है.
honestly, that is I feel a very good thing happening with us right now because I think overall in the IPL this year we're seeing poor fielding happening through and through. These days, if the ball's going up, more often than not, even if it's headed to a player, I'm going to assume they're not going to catch it. Even when it's headed towards the boundary, the fielding that we're seeing right now isn't keeping up to the standards of professional cricket. Of course, there's no criticism, but it is seeming to be that way, and at a time like this to be able to field well helps us get over those super over situations that happened last week.
मेक सेंस. वही कल की मैच है
I
ऐसा,
will
ठीक है.
probably add one more thing here for you guys, but right now, your last three fixtures, two of them are going to be elimination games for sure. Because three of those teams are in the top four.
Hmm.
You need to make a place in that top four. You need to beat
Yeah,
all of them, to be
if
very
you
honest.
you
It's
want to
as
be the
simple as
best,
that.
you got to take out the best. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
तो आप कभी भी ऐसे टीम से छुप नहीं सकते, कभी ना कभी तो खेलना पड़ता है. जैसे कि अब हमेशा बात करते हैं आईसीसी चैंपियनशिप में अगर आपको जीतना है तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इंग्लैंड, साउथ अफ्रीका को हराना पड़ेगा, तो ही जाके आप आईसीसी चैंपियनशिप जीतते हैं. तो ही कुछ पॉइंट
Correct.
फिर वो ट्रॉफी भी जीतने का, क्योंकि अगर आप अच्छे तरीके से अच्छे साइड्स को नहीं हरा पा रहे हो तो आप सही के चैंपियन भी नहीं हो.
Hmm.
Moving on, I think yeah, MI will be a team to watch out for in this time where they you see that
Yeah.
it's the usual MI side which does very well towards the which
I
does.
mean, we're going to give our top four that qualify into the playoffs in the end, but yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we'll look at that later.
Yeah.
Moving on to KKR. यार KKR यार frustrating to watch,
Pathetic.
man. I
I
mean,
mean, it's an absolute pathetic
yeah,
performance to be honest. This team doesn't know their 11, to be very frank with
yeah,
you.
क्या
They
करते हैं ये
don't,
लोग. और
they
ये
are a team that is so adamant in playing a right hand, left hand combination
हाँ,
that
and
they're willing
फालतू के
to drop
tactics.
Rinku to number nine and Angrish to a number nine.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Wings,
saw that yesterday. Yeah,
yeah,
dropping Ankush all the
it's
way down there.
bonkers.
What is wrong with
yeah.
them?
I mean,
Last year he was
Not
so well.
chasing. Yeah, you're chasing a big total, but
Yeah,
it's fine if the power hitter comes in at number 9. No
Yeah,
worry.
that's like ये मुझे क्या सोच रहे हैं ये लोग मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है and plus they're kind of proving a point to everybody like only when Gautam Gambhir comes into this team do they look like a threat. उसके बावजूद they are a very average team
Hmm.
which is easier to beat and they're very soft to beat like it's almost like and it doesn't live up to the name they have like Rinku Raman Russell in that bottom 4 5 6 is so good and at the same time Ankush Raghuvanshi can't play at 9 उसकी ability जैसा है जैसा youth है उसका I तो feel he should open.
Yeah.
yeah, he
I
can.
mean, they have an
He's
opening problem. And this same problem that they've been having is a wicketkeeper problem from the last mega
yep.
auction.
Yeah,
They
I
solved it
mean,
last time because of Phil Salt,
yeah,
but he's gone now.
yeah,
And now they've got another wicketkeeper problem with Quinton de Kock not doing anything.
yeah.
And then you also Gurbaz not doing anything. And they don't have an Indian keeper that they can play. It's mental.
It's absolutely crazy. Anyway, moving on to a team, Rajasthan Royals, which is also in the same boat as them. यार राजस्थान
Yeah.
रॉयल्स भी मेरे को यार इनके रिटेंशन भी मुझे समझ में नहीं आए. ये अप्रोच कैसे करते हैं अपने गेम समझ में नहीं. तुम्हारा जोफ्रा आर्चर पड़ा है तुम उसको सुपर ओवर नहीं देके संदीप शर्मा को दे रहे हो एंड जोफ्रा आर्चर मैच विनर है यार लाइक आप क्या कर रहे हो एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे
Jofra Archer
नीतीश
bowled the
राणा को
super
खरीदा.
over in the World Cup final in 2019. How can you not
या
give it to that guy?
Yeah.
When on the opposite end, it's going to be. You saw what Mitchell Stark was capable of.
या
He
वो
was
लोग थोड़ी ना
really
लेके
tricking their
मुकेश शर्मा को
batsmen.
देंगे. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. नो
Like,
एब्सोल्युटली
I think
राइट.
this team has got that opening sorted, I think now. That opening is a good opening. My problem is Jurel's not living up to what he needs to do, and Hetma is not living up to what he needs to do.
या
And
100.
that also is impacted by your number 3 and number 4. The
करेक्ट.
way that system is built is a lot of those batters stretching those innings.
या
That doesn't happen because they have a lot of early wickets, right?
अननेसेसरी यार ये गेम्स को
You've
डीप नहीं
lost
करने देते.
Butler, so there's no one that really protects that wicket up top except for Jaiswal.
या
Then you don't really, you've got Parag, who's not been as consistent as he was. And
या
yeah, this team is just
सेम
a
विद
little
ध्रुव
bit
जुरैल.
out of
या
place.
सेम विद ध्रुव जुरैल. आई मीन ये 28 करोड़
And the bowling's
प्लेयर्स
really
है.
weak this year, to be very frank
या
with you.
एंड बॉलिंग तो हमने हमेशा से बोला था कि ये सबसे वीकेस्ट बॉलिंग है इन द टूर्नामेंट. अपार्ट
Yeah,
फ्रॉम जफर आर्चर
Yeah.
इनके पास और कोई है नहीं जो विकेट ले सके कंसिस्टेंटली आपको इकोनॉमिक ओवर्स दे सके. वो कोई है नहीं उनके
correct. Their
पास.
spinners are not real wicket takers. That's the
एब्सोल्युटली
issue.
फुल्ली एग्री. द अदर वन एस आर एच.
Think so far.
यस 300 पार वाली टीम हमने जब भी देखा है कि ये 300 पार करने जाते हैं इनकी खुद नैया पार नहीं हो पाती है. 7 गेम खेले 2 जीते 5 हारे हैं विद 4 पॉइंट सिटिंग एट 9th इन द टेबल. ऑनेस्टली मैं बोलूँ ये सबसे बड़ा सरप्राइजिंग फैक्टर है ऑफ द आईपीएल एंड सबसे बड़ा डिसअपॉइंटमेंट है ऑफ द आईपीएल. देयर इज
Hmm.
नथिंग रॉन्ग विद दिस टीम. कॉम्बिनेशन वाइज नथिंग रॉन्ग विद दिस टीम. इनका
Hmm.
अप्रोच थोड़ा प्रॉब्लमेटिक है एंड ये किसी अच्छे एनालिस्ट ने भी बोला कि क्या है कि इनकी बैक लिफ्ट जो है बैट का जो लिफ्ट है वो थोड़ी सी हायर है बिकॉज दे एक्सपेक्ट गुड लेग डिलीवरीज टू कम टू देम एट अ प्लेस लाइक राजीव गांधी इंटरनेशनल स्टेडियम जहां पे आप वही करोगे एट अ वेरी गुड स्टेडियम. सो दे आर तो एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं और वो मारते हैं. वो लोअर बैकलिफ्ट नहीं रखते तो बॉलर्स उनको फुलर लेग डाल रहे हैं. देयर इज वेयर दे आर मिसिंग द एजेस. दे कांट हिट एज frequently as they do. So that kind of a technical adjustment I think needs to come into the SRH game. But at the same time, I feel teams are going very well prepared to Hyderabad. उनको मालूम है
Yeah.
अभिषेक के स्ट्रॉन्ग एरियाज वीक एरियाज क्या है. ट्रेविस हेड के वीक एरिया स्ट्रॉन्ग एरियाज क्या है. पहले 3 ओवर में जैसे उनको कैसे चुप रखना है कहाँ उनकी रन चोकअप करने. वही मुंबई इंडियंस ने भी किया एट वानखेड़े स्टेडियम when they
Hmm.
got them. LSG also when they went there, they kind of tucked them up very well. And I think a lot of teams kept on just repeating those strategies, except for Rajasthan Royals, for obvious reasons. They of course conceded what they conceded.
They were the first team to play there,
Yeah,
right? So it is what it is.
exactly. But अभी मुझे भी ज्यादा बोलना नहीं चाहिए क्योंकि कल अभी हम खेलेंगे एसआरएच को तो देखते हैं क्या
Yeah.
होता है. This ground is a bunch of possibilities, man. Anything can happen. So yeah, I feel like it'll be good to see like a renaissance of this team. Yeah, I would say yes. This is a team which does not deserve to be at ninth. They've not played bad cricket per se. It's just that they need to make a few technical adjustments here and there, and they should be up to where they belong.
Hmm.
Now coming to all of our favorite team, who we are not at all bothered that they are at number 10 is Chennai Super Kings. Um, Chennai Super
Everything
Kings,
is wrong with this team.
Chennai Super Kings,
Everything.
yeah, everything is
It's
wrong.
not even funny.
Lowest average when it comes to power play. Lowest average when it comes to the last 5 overs. Absolutely no. They have failed to chase 200. Forget about 200. 190 plus scores since 2021. Opening combination is one of the worst and one of the most changed in the tournament. यार सीएसके यार क्या कर रहे हैं यार ये लोग मतलब
Their,
आपके पास
their
सक्सेशन
biggest
प्लानिंग नहीं है.
problem,
हाँ और इतने
I'll be honest, their biggest problem is Stephen Fleming right now. And I
हाँ
hate
एंड
to
हिज
say,
रिलक्टेंसी टू एक्सेप्ट कि हाँ भाई टी
yeah,
ट्वेंटी क्रिकेट बढ़ गया है.
exactly.
एग्जैक्टली टी ट्वेंटी क्रिकेट इज नॉट हिटिंग. नो, टी ट्वेंटी क्रिकेट इज नॉट
I
अबाउट
mean,
हिटिंग. अरे
there's
भाई.
a reason
या.
you're losing by wickets, and there's a reason you're losing by runs. It's
यस.
because you're not scoring enough or you're not taking enough wickets.
यस.
That's how the game is played.
या.
It's not about
एंड
boundaries.
yes, exactly. Like your kid that day again showed you, right? Like, and then like, oh, I don't understand. You say this in public, and then you go and buy pinch hitters like Ayush Matre and Devard Brevis. Huh? Like, what do you mean? Like, then you're clearly contradicting yourself publicly, making a fool out of your own self and the kind of tactics. And truth be told, also the Chennai fans see this is what happens when you put an individual over a team. This sensationalism has what has caused CSK. एंड यही प्रॉब्लम अगर वो रिपीट करते जाए तो ये जो फाउंडेशनल प्रॉब्लम्स है जो कभी सीएस के पास होती नहीं थी. दे वर अ वेरी फियरलेस टीम. बेस्ट लास्ट 5 overs का एवरेज था ये टीम का एक टाइम पे, where they were the ones who were very inclined to score 75 to at least 100 runs in the last 5 overs, be it Chepauk or be
Hmm,
it any other venue they play in. They knew how
hmm.
to pace out their innings throughout the 20. Now you just see there is no absolute start, there is no plan. Most change top order. You have someone like Shivam Dubey who comes sometimes at 5, who comes sometimes at 7. Then Dhoni's position is obviously not fixed. The bowling is all over the place. Sometimes Anshul Kamboj works for you, so you remove him. Then you get an Overton. Your captain apparently is playing football very well in the field, but you say he's got an elbow fracture. Overnight you're just giving birth to injuries and suddenly players are replacing and making a this. So you clearly got the auction wrong. You clearly don't have a combination. There is no vision of playing in this team. I don't know, man. Like it's a bit obnoxious the way CSK is playing and their reluctancy, as
It's
you said, of
pathetic.
Stephen Fleming to
Yeah.
acknowledge the fact that कि गेम इतनी आगे बढ़ गई है पर हम नहीं खेलेंगे. अगर वो गेम वैसा है तो अरे यार कोई भी गेम के ऊपर बड़ा नहीं होता है. जो गेम इवॉल्व करती है आपको गेम के पीछे जाना पड़ता है. यंग young core with pinch hitters, with players who bat with 150, 170, 200 की strike rate. सब टीम्स जो ऐसे सब कर रहे हैं वो मतलब पागल नहीं है वो ऐसे सब कर रहे हैं.
I mean, if you look at it, last year when Rahane used to play for them, he used to still bat at close 150 to 200 strike rate.
Yes,
So that's like a very big missing piece for them this year because
yes,
that middle order is as inconsistent as anyone else.
या एंड अभी वो बोल रहे हैं कि नेक्स्ट ईयर वो शायद से आई मीन धोनी pretty much has conceded for next season.
No, he's going to play the full cycle. I don't think he's retiring for the next 10 years, to be very frank with you.
I mean, it's going to be a bit of a frustrating watch.
10
Anyway,
years.
that is our take on the 10 teams and how they are doing. So far, all our top 4 predictions are pretty much, by at least mine will be pretty much the same. I'm going to stick with GT, RCB, MI, and I would say, you know what, let's make it a bit fun. I would say it should be SRH, MI, uh,
Oh,
GTDC. I just see SRH making a comeback. I don't know why.
I feel it's going to be GT. I do see a DC, I see an RCB, and I'm going to see a Mumbai make it through.
Sorry, my bad. I'm saying
Hmm.
GT, RCB, MI, SRH.
Okay.
oh, okay. For me, pretty much the same with GT and DC are up top. I think one of RCB and Punjab is not going to make it. And
Hmm.
in that place, it will be either Lucknow or Mumbai who definitely will. So top four, I'd say GT, DC, uh, RCB, probably Mumbai.
Yeah.
We are clutching
Okay.
those last few games, so I think we can
I
take
mean,
that run
dude,
of form.
MI and RCB, the relationship we have this year, there's nothing like it. It's so wonderful to watch. Rivals
Yeah.
turn into best friends. We enjoy every weekend so much now together.
Especially the CSK game, you know?
Yeah, it's just, it brings warmth in
The
my heart for
CSK
sure.
game is
Yeah.
literally one of those ones. But yeah, guys, that is our top four prediction. IPL is halfway through. We will, of course, be covering a few big matches. We'll, of course, be doing a CSK RCB preview as well. There are going to be match vlogs which are going to be coming. We will have, of course, we are stoked out to miss out for Aryan. But yeah, he should be joining in soon as well. And yeah, have a good day. Be safe. And yeah, hope you're having a nice summer.